I try to teach people to love themselves more so that they're able to show up wholesomely in everything.
Yeah.
So that they're able to show up for themselves, love themselves. You know, when you love yourself, you treat yourself really, really well. And then your standard for how people treat you also goes up. And that's what I try to do with Love and Orgasms. I'm just trying to teach people to have much more love and peace in their hearts so that they're able to improve their relationships overall. That's what I would do. If I could change society, that's what I would do. Make everyone a bit more relaxed and happy and peaceful so that we're able to be more productive.
My fear is that I will reach 70 and our country will just look like the way it is looking now.
That would be sad.
Yeah, like, you know, people blocking roads, parking on the road. Like the other day I saw... By the way, Robertta, there is something going on that is the Agak is always putting it online. Haktua thing. What is this thing really?
Hey, me hata sijui.
Wewe unajua.
Lubrication. It was a girl on TikTok trending. She that to kuashiria anatema mate kwa anatema mate. That's what it was just to show, I guess. Lakini mimi sipendi watu wenye upaka mate kwa vitu. Hata wale unotema mate kwa barabara.
What's your greatest fear and how do you manage it? What's your greatest fear?
My greatest fear has already happened to me.
What's that?
My greatest fear is my mom, losing my mom. Okay, it hasn't happened to me until I've lost my mom. But like, last year my mom was diagnosed with cancer. That was literally my biggest fear on earth. And it happened. I don't know if I'm the one who manifested it because of fearing it too much, but that actually really changed my life.
You feared it for your mother or you feared it for somebody close to you?
I feared it for my mom. I feared my mom not being able to experience my Thanksgiving before she's too old to, or like before she leaves the earth. Because my one goal on earth is to just make my mom happy and relaxed. That's what I want to be able to give to her. So when we got that diagnosis, I had just lost my job, which shook my world. It was like, oh shit, now my mom has cancer, now I don't have money, what am I going to do? So these things happened to me in the same time. My other fear is poverty. So now I've been thrown in this situation where I have no money and my mom is possibly going down this road of actually me losing her. So I think these things happened to me to show me that you can literally go through anything and come out of it. So it scared me a lot and it really changed my life. But then it really taught me that I can get out of anything. My biggest fear still can't destroy my life. So yeah, I was very scared, but my mom is doing so much better right now. And I feel like my finances have been in check ever since I lost my job. So I've been okay. Those are my biggest fears.
That's great. I hope your mother regains her health. How is she doing?
She's doing so much better. She's healing. She's recovering. She had the surgery done. She had colon cancer. And when she was diagnosed, she was told it was stage 4. So you can imagine the fear we had because she looked very healthy. Everything was fine. She looked fine. So to be told she has stage 4 colon cancer, what? That was so shocking.
Yeah.
It was so shocking.
Was it really established that stage 4?
So when she went to India for surgery, they staged it at stage 2, which is a miracle. So now stage 2 is not as lethal as stage 4, which meant managing it is much easier and ilipatikana early. So she got the surgery and she's fine. Yeah, she's so much better now.
Okay. We wish her the best in her recovery.
Thank you.
How do you define happiness?
Happiness to me is peace. I always say this thing where people ask me, what are your life goals? What goals do you have? Like, what's your 5-year plan? Or in 10 years, who do you want to become? I think I've already achieved my goals. By 25, I had already achieved my goals. And when I say this, people get confused because most people's goals and achievements are pegged on materialistic stuff or like financial stuff. When you ask people, what's your goal? To drive a Maserati, to go to Paris. But mine has always been peace. Because I grew up in a very chaotic environment. Like I said, I grew up having so much anxiety. I was consistently in my fight or flight. So I moved out of my mom's home when I was 25 years old. That's 3 years ago. And that night, when I was moving out, I didn't have anything. I didn't have money. I didn't have a plan. Hata sikuwa najua house hunt. Mi mtu aliniambia kwa hii building yetu kuna keja, kuja uangalie. Na nikaenda nikaangalia na nika move in after 3 days. I didn't know anything about bills. I didn't know how I was going to pay my rent. I didn't know.
Why did you move?
I moved because of trouble at home. I grew up in it was a very emotional, abusive situation, sometimes physical. And I just needed to go. It was time. Nilikuwa nimefukuzwa home mara mob. Nilikuwa naambiwa ngwa nihame, nitoke kwa hiyo nyumba. You know, my dad is a different guy from like the guy I grew up with. I have a biological father who's the guy from Suba. So
which is not this one that you lived with
not
till
the
recently.
one I lived with. So there was always that difference of like feeling unwanted in this home. It wasn't outright at yatukutaki, but during arguments there was always that thing for toka kwa nyumba, hama, ishia. So something happened that pushed me that day, and immediately I went and looked for a house and I moved. I didn't know anything. I didn't have anything. But that night in that house, without anything, I had nothing, just my mattress on the floor. That was the first night in my life where I had the most peace I have ever felt since I was born. That's the first time my mind was quiet. I didn't even care. I didn't care that I didn't have money. I was not thinking, how will I do what? Where will I go? My only thought, I remember waking up in the morning like, hey, yo singizi ilikuwa tamu. And from then on, my life has been amazing. So I say I achieved my goals at 25 because that's when I moved out. And that was my ultimate goal. That's the first time I felt so much peace in my life.
Could that have been the toughest decision you've ever made?
Yes.
Because that was my next question.
Oh, okay. Toughest decision, I'd say, okay, right now in hindsight, if I were to make that decision right now, it doesn't seem tough. But being at my age with nothing, yes, I wouldn't say tough. I feel boldest because I was going to start a new life without knowing anything, and I went anyway. I had so many fears around, I'm leaving my mom. I've never been away from, my mom, especially financially. I'm so used to her doing everything for me, but this was me going to start my own life. So I could say, yeah, it's pretty up there. It's close to being the scariest thing I've ever done, but it's the best decision I ever made for myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you cope with the uncertainties of life?
I acknowledge them. I acknowledge that they exist. I do not try to run away from them or ignore them or use things to make me forget. I just sit in them. And I love this question because most people, when they're seeing you or when they're watching you, even you, Jagero, I'm sure there's people who watch you and think, oh, this guy has it going on. But where maybe on a personal level, you still feel like there's so many things you have to do or you need to do for yourself to reach a certain place. So I'd say that life happens. Our only job is to flow through it, not to try to go against it. Because today you could have everything and tomorrow it's all gone. So now, does that make you stop being who you are? No. So how I deal with the uncertainties is I sit in them, I acknowledge them. I know this happens to everyone. Sometimes when you're going through things, you might feel like it's happening to you, just you only. But then the reason I even have a blog and a podcast is to share these experiences so that you see, oh, so many of us relate. So many of us go through these things in life. And it's natural, it's normal. There's nothing wrong with you being in your... Umesema unaitwa Landimawe. There's nothing wrong with you being in your Landimawe era. Because in a bit, you might be in Belgium.
Yeah.
Or Paris. It's just life.
It's just life.
Yeah.
That is the end of our conversation. By the way, when are you going to start shooting videos?
So many people ask me this question.
Yeah. You know, we Mbia Johnny can shoot for you one episode for free.
See how his face changed. So many people have been asking me that. They say they would love for me to do my own videos. Yeah. Especially when your videos come out and you featured me.
Yeah.
They ask, is it a partnership? Are you guys doing this thing together?
Did they ask you that?
Yeah, they say you guys should do something. Because I like I told you, watching you Jagera is very captivating. I hardly move from the screen. I hardly even check my phone to napatanga nime watch for 2 hours and I realize, oh shit, like I've been watching this thing the whole time. It's very captivating. And I think if I feel like that, there's so many people who feel the same way about watching these videos. So it's, to answer that question, when will I start my videos? I think it would be unfair for me to start because people are asking me of it. And it's a consideration I have. But then I start...
Do you feel like the whole production thing is going to weigh you down?
Probably. I feel that's just a fear. That's just an excuse. If I really want to make time, I feel like I can. If I want to do it, I feel like I can.
You know, you flawed me the other day when you said that you actually do all your edits on your phone. Did you tell me that? Yeah?
Yeah, or on my laptop.
Yeah.
Yeah, why?
It's, it's hard.
Hard, why?
Like you're doing your audios by yourself.
Yeah. I've always
that is half the problem solved.
It's true. It's something I definitely will get into, but for now,
you're okay with your audio.
Not that I'm okay with. I am
because I feel like I have seen your capability in talking and creating content, and video is really, really, really another level of creating content. For me, I should have started kitambo sana, but I was really, really bogged down.
How come?
But by the fear of how it's going.
I think it's just a fear, because when you get in it, you realize
Because then the other thing I've realized that it will help you a lot to push your gig. Yeah. Cindy.
Sometimes I think the truth is I'm paid to talk, so I'm consistently talking the whole day from morning to journey. I'm always talking. I'll go on TV and talk.
The therapy thing.
I come home and do my sessions. Yeah, I'll talk on my podcast. I'll write an article, which is again me sharing my thoughts.
That last article you wrote was bonkers, man. Why are you writing that thing?
Bonkers, why?
Wow. I was shook.
Why?
It's truly love and orgasm.